So they just put me in the spot. So see all this shine? Y'all see this? I am blessed and highly favored. And I do not believe in toning it down for anybody. Because I know when I step in the room, somebody feels something. It might not be what they want it to be, but they feel something. So let me tell you a little bit, give you a little background on myself. I'm from Thomasville, Georgia. I am a Gulf War vet. And then I came to Houston to go to TSU because I wanted to go to historically black college. Okay? When I was 8 years old, I decided that I wanted to write a book. Thought I would do it by I was 35, but you know, that didn't happen. You see all this? It didn't happen by 35. So a lot of people don't live to see all this. So I know I'm blessed. But I worked for the YMCA for 18 and a half years. I am the first exec in the world to open a YMCA facility named after a professional sports team. I didn't ask for that, God gave that to me. So there's some time that happened that I left the church when I was 16 years old and transformed all the way back. I got saved again at the YMCA conference. Isn't that something? And I tell you, when that happened, something went into play. My life started turning upside down because God was putting in my spirit that I wasn't in the right place to do the right thing. Not the right thing for what I had planned for myself, but what He had planned for me. Okay, it's a difference between our plan and God's plan. God will shake your plan up, and because that's not the plan He has for you. Okay? So, after 18 and a half years of doing everything I needed to do at the YMCA, it was time to move. So I didn't move when I felt it in the spirit that God just had to move me. And in that process, that's right. In that process, I left the Y. I had saved all this money. I didn't know why I saved all this money. You know, my grandfather always said, regardless of however much money you make, it doesn't matter how much it is, save something. Pay yourself first. I did that. So I had saved quite a bit of money. And with that, I took my money and invested back into myself. With the YMCA is one thing that I learned, that is intellectual property. It belongs to them. It doesn't matter if you created it. They own it. I didn't want anybody owning me anymore. So that's why I took my money and invested in myself. What happened? This is about, for me, is taking your passion and putting it into action. All right? So my passion is photography. I started volunteering on June 31st, 2014 with Freemanstown Preservation Coalition. I know y'all have seen us on the brick streets, to save those brick streets. If you haven't seen us in the news over that period of time, you've been under a rock. Okay? This young man right here, I was just on the bricks with him not too long ago. They were walking down the street on them historical bricks. Okay? With Reverend Smith, historical man within himself. So with that, I went to a meeting. I didn't know, I just really wanted to go inside the house and look inside the house to see what was there. And I got hooked in with them, so I started volunteering. And I didn't want to be in charge of anything. I just wanted to be in charge of myself. So all I did was record and take pictures and do all those types of things. Well, there came a point where we went to court, and with court, we really weren't doing a whole lot. So I had all these pictures and all this wealth of knowledge and historical stuff. And I said, well, you know what? I could put it in a book, and I can share it with more people. Okay? Put it in a book, share it with more people. And that was just Freemanstown. I just wanted to go write a book on Freemanstown and just share it with other people. With that, another seed was planted and God expanded my territory. So he said, you know what? If there's one Freemanstown, guess how many Freemanstowns are out there? So then I started going within Houston, an hour and a half outside of Houston, seeking Freemanstown that was established by people that looked like me. Because they don't want you to think that we didn't do anything. But we're great. Do you understand that? We're great. And I wanted to show everybody that. So I've gone to 44 freedom colonies. That's what they're called. They were called freedom colonies because after slavery, there was land set aside to be sold to people that look like us. Y'all heard the slogan, 40 acres and a mule. Well, that once was a concept back in the day that a general had. But then it came up with, you know what, we can make money off of it, so let's sell it to them. The land was already set aside for people like us, over 400 and some thousand acres. So guess what? Let's just sell it to them. It was the worst land in the country that you possibly could have. You know what we did? We were resilient. We built it up and we became self-sufficient. So with that, what I said, I've been to 44. I've documented 20 in books. Okay? So have taken my passion, which is photography, and put it into action. From that, that is what we call a source. My source is photography. Out of that source, what else can you build out of that source? What we call funding streams. Books are one funding stream. That's one. Speaking engagements, that's 2 funding streams. Okay? But not only did I do that, I started developing educational tools like toys and different things like that so that people can learn different ways because we see things differently. But it's all about one thing, my passion. Because my passion was very simple. I wanted to take pictures of people so that they could see themselves the way God sees them. That's really just it. That's just the foundation of what I wanted to do. And it's developed into all this other stuff. If that wasn't enough, somebody put a seed in my head and said, why don't you do an exhibit? So I started writing a proposal for an exhibit. I still haven't submitted that particular proposal to the person that put that seed in my head about the exhibit. So Acres Homes was doing a Acres Homes community art exhibit. So I decided to submit a proposal. I already was working on one. And I had submitted 2. That was my second proposal. Guess what? Got funded. An exhibit. Okay? Of all things. These are pictures. Pictures based out of photography. Then I said, you know what? I'm going to go for more money. I did another one. And guess what? I got it. And then they just sent us a detailed list of what people said about our proposals. I got 84 out of 100 on the proposal. But they were saying, oh, the artists need development and this and that, or clear thought or whatever. But I got it anyway. Okay? So now I've exhibited, I had the opportunity, navigated the opportunity to do part of my exhibit to over 6,000 people that came through their doors in a prime location of their event. Then it's not just about just doing one thing. I want people to see the work. I want people to see people that did great things. Because my exhibit is about people that served in the military. Okay? That's really what the exhibit is about. Because we don't need to celebrate them 1 or 2 days a week. We need to celebrate them every day. Because you're able to sit here because of their sacrifices. All right? That's just true. Don't you ever think that someone that goes off in the military, goes off to the war, when they come back, that they're okay. Just because you don't see it, don't mean that it's not there. All right? So World War II veterans is my big thing. World War II, Korean War, then Vietnam. Tons of Vietnam people still left. Very few World War II, very few Korean War people left. So we have to celebrate them when we see them. So sometime in June, I'm having an exhibit again at Buffalo Soldier Museum. You know what? That's not me. That's God. And He's expanding my territory. So I went this morning to get my hair all done to come here. You know, and I had every obstacle that could be put in my way, but I said I'm going anyway. And I need to feel like I'm okay. And so my hair was sweating, my hair puffed up. I said, let me go do me. I want to pull my hair back like I know to pull my hair back and put that puff down. And I'm out here talking about. Okay? I'm just saying there's nothing too big for God. But your plan has to be with God. It can't just be with you. Because our plans we can only get so far with our plans. But if you want to go to that next level, you have to have God. And not your plan, His plan. Okay? And then the other thing is, you got to write it down. You got to write it down. You know what's on my mirror when I go in the bathroom? I put pictorial pictures of everything in my vision plan. You know, and whatever God gives me to write on it and put on it, I add on to it. It's all marked up. Okay? That's God's plan. Exhibits were on there. I had exhibits on that particular plan. Guess what? I've had 2. You know? Isn't that something? So I just kind of mark it off, add on, make it bigger. Whole bunch of money is on there too. Yeah. Whole bunch of money. You know what? I might not be there right now, but I know that God is getting ready to manifest that. It's coming. And so, there's no reason to make money if you can't take your money and help somebody with it. Our thing is to help pull people up as we go, not to just be me, 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 me. And I don't want to look on Facebook, Instagram, or any social media looking at somebody else how they live their life. I want to live my life that God has purposed for me. Okay? Everyone has a purpose in life. We're all designed to be great. It just depends on whether or not you want to be great. You're going to have to submit if you want to be great. So James didn't tell me how much time I had, but you know I could stand up all day long. I guess he's telling me to wrap it up. Oh, I keep talking? Oh, fantastic. So let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell y'all how I met James. I met James on the internet. I told you I was doing books, right? So I had done this book about Acreage Homes, which is Acreage Homes. It's over there. This is a book that we've done a more extensive research on about Acreage Homes. So Acreage Homes was a freedom colony that was established in 1910. One of the biggest African-American settlements in the country. They say the South or whatever. So that's how I met him. So he was online surfing, and he sent me a message through Messenger. Okay? And that's how we connected. I never met him, never heard of him. And he said, well, can I get a book from you? I said, yeah, I'll meet you the next day or whatever. So I met him somewhere to give him a book, to sell him a book. Okay? But I was at the point, at the crossroads that I was about to stop doing what I was doing. This man sowed a seed into what I was doing. My passion, my purpose. He sowed a seed into me for me to continue on, because you know what? You only need one person. You don't need everybody. You need one person that believes in what you do. So he sowed a seed into what I was doing. And I, hey, got up, started back doing it again. I got 22 after that. 22 more settlements after that. Have all the pictures and everything. I just haven't had the time to put them in writing and put it down. Okay? So you just need one person to believe in you. Second thing that happened to me is that James invited me to come to this church. Not a big church, small church. And we were just supposed to be having a meeting. So I went to the church, and I went 3 times to meet with him. Then the 4th time I said, I'm just going to go to the church just to visit the church. You know? Yeah, it was a setup for a comeback, though. It was a setup for a comeback. And I tell you what, I've learned so much going to church. It's been over a year. This has been over a year. I've been sowing and sowing and sowing into people and sowing into things, but I never figured out how to make it grow. Okay? So when I tell you about that manifestation, it's coming. That big pop, it's coming. Just ain't here yet. But I'm in a state of preparation to receive. So the pastor that's at the church, I was at this point, again, I was about to quit what I was doing and everybody and everything else. I was, because you only can invest in yourself for so long, you gotta have money coming in. When you're pushing out money, you gotta have money coming in from somewhere. And I was like, should I just go do it, just get a job, just whatever, for a source. And then I started thinking about money differently. Most people talk about 7 sources of income. And I was telling you about the streams that you can get it from. That's how you have to look at it. You look at the source as the primary, because that's where the money come in. And then you have streams that's connected to that in order to feed into that particular source. So you want to look at 7 sources, so that if this falls off, you still can survive. I still got to live, I still got to eat. Pastor texted me, say, you know what, God told me to sow a seed in you today. You hear me? She said, God told me to sow a seed in you. And usually I don't accept anything from anybody, any kind of help. And I proudly accepted that seed, because I've learned that by her sowing in me, it's going to bless her. Okay? It's not just going to bless me, it's going to bless her too. She sowed that seed into me. I always had this thing about giving my money to the church of different people, so I started learning how to sow seeds. I sowed what I had. Things started changing for me. It wasn't big or anything, just small things that I began to notice. Even my mindset about things, about money, about little things. So that's why I tell you about the manifestation. Right. I know it's right here. Come on here. Okay? I know it's here. Yeah. So I'm telling you, if you're better off, help somebody. Let's help lift each other up. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you another secret. Don't walk into a room full of people and don't speak to people. I know your mama raised you. Okay? When you walk in, you give a person a greeting of the day, you don't know how that's going to impact their life. You could have had somebody on the brink of suicide, and you came in and spoke to them and smiled to them, and you saved their life for them to go and help save somebody else's life.
That's right.
Don't do that. Don't ever think that you're so high, because there's one thing that's true in life. One day we all gotta die. And you need to be concerned about that beginning. You need to be concerned about the dash between that beginning and ending. All right? That's what you need to be concerned about. And if you're not helping somebody, then you're not doing what God put you on.